Adam here from the Walser Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here, I have the 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe. We'll look at the interior, exterior, some of the trim level specifics, then go for a spin around, see what it's like out on the road. All right, so now we're behind the wheel of the Hyundai Santa Fe, and this is the XRT trim. So this is the 2025. There's going to be 5 different trim levels now. You've got your SE and your SEL, and then the XRT in the middle, and then you can go up to the Limited, and then even the Calligraphy, which would be the top tier trim level. But the XRT is going to be a little bit different because it's going to be more off-road focused. So we'll touch on that a little bit more today. As you can tell, we got a little bit of snow overnight, so I think this is the perfect vehicle to test out in these inclement weather conditions. Now, before we even get going, got my cell phone with me as we usually do. We've got a wireless charging pad down here, and I've got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in all of these Santa Fe's. So I love that feature. It's really easy to use. So again, we'll touch on that a little bit more, but for now, let's put it in drive and go for a spin around. So there really is kind of 2 different models. We've got our standard Hyundai Santa Fe, and then there's also a hybrid version offered. So this one has a 2.5 liter turbocharged engine. That's going to be paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. And if you're looking at the XRT, it does dip a little bit in fuel economy because of a little bit of elevated ground clearance in the larger wheel tire, but you're still looking at 26 mpg. Now, if you're very concerned about the fuel economy, the hybrid will definitely be one to check out, and we can link that video below because we did get a chance to drive one of those earlier. But for the most part, the XRT I think is really cool. Like I said, you do get a little bit higher ground clearance with this particular trim level, and on a day like today when there's slush and snow piled up everywhere, I definitely appreciate that feature. Now this one does get the more off-road focused XRT wheels and the Continental tires. So that added bite and grip that you're getting in this weather, I love that. And if you do plan to do a little bit of off-roading, whether you're maybe going up to the cabin or you like mountain biking or some outdoor activities, I think the XRT is definitely one to look at. Now you also do get the roof rack up above on this model, so you can add the crossbars up there. And like I said, throw the mountain bikes, the kayaks up above, does make it a really good outdoor vehicle. The engine and transmission, this one, like I said, with the fuel economy and the amount of power you're getting, I think there's a good balance there. It's about 277 horsepower and a little over 300 foot-pounds of torque. But the big thing is the XRT can actually tow more when it has trailer brakes than when compared to the regular Santa Fe. Now that total is going to be 4,500 pounds, like I said, when properly equipped. So that could get you the small boat. Maybe you're pulling the trailer. That is pretty convenient out of this model as well. Now, what's the big difference between 24 and 25? Not a whole lot. They did add an Atlantis blue color, so it's a deep blue. It does look really cool, maybe one to consider there. But for the most part, the big changes came in 24, and this is just kind of a carryover to 25, but there is a lot of great equipment. Now on the exterior, like I said, with the different wheel and tires, this one is the ultimate red, and with the black mirror caps and that black grille design, it does look really cool. Now this one also gets that kind of H pattern that runs throughout the vehicle. So whether that's in the taillights or up front in that LED headlight and the headlight bar that's up there, it gives it a pretty aggressive appearance on the road, and it kind of fits the design and style for the XRT. Now, a few other things exterior-wise, this one does get a power liftgate out back, and it is also important to note that Hyundai wanted to make sure there was a lot of room back there, and when you open it up, you definitely do feel that. It's pretty cool just how much space you get, even with that 3rd row up, but when you fold the 3rd row down, there's actually a button then you can press to fold the 2nd row down, which is really convenient and gives you a huge amount of space for a vehicle that doesn't feel like it has that large of a footprint on the exterior. Now, as we kind of trudge through this snow and stuff all over the road, it is another important thing to note that front-wheel drive would be standard and all-wheel drive is optional. The only exception being on the XRT, which only comes with the available all-wheel drive. They figured if you're looking for an outdoor off-road focused vehicle, all-wheel drive probably makes the most sense and will be offered on this trim level. On the inside, the big difference for this generation of Santa Fe is going to be the addition of the 3rd row again. Now, with that 3rd row, you're not only going to have charging back there as well as vents, but it's really easy to access. There's a little button, whether it's down below for the little kids or on the armrest of that 2nd row seat. You can click that and it's power. It's going to slide that seat forward really easily. You're not having to mess with the handles unless you want to on the side, which you can pull and fold those flat. It's kind of like a Lego set. You can slide them, move them, click them, fold them forward. There's lots of different ways to conveniently access that 3rd row. And like I said, it's a 60-40 split. So you can fold one side or the other. You can even fold the 3rd and the 2nd row on both sides. So it is pretty convenient if you're hauling people and stuff still with you. But I found it pretty roomy in the third row, where I'm about 6'1". I had a lot of space in the second row, and even if you just move that second row up a little bit, I was easily able to sit back there. Yes, I wouldn't want to go on a really long road trip, but if you got the little kids, I think they're going to be more than comfortable back there, and I found the second row to be really comfortable as well. Now in the XRT, on the front seats here, there's actually USB-C ports, so you get plenty of charging for that second row. So if you got the kids back there, they're gonna keep all their devices charged up and be happy when you're on the move. Now there also is a cool little storage cubby. So underneath the armrest here, there's a big cubby underneath, and you can actually access this storage cabinet from the second row. So to keep your focus on the road, if they maybe need something out of the cabinet here, they can push the little button, fold it up. That does make it pretty safe and easy to use as well. What about the driver's seat? So like I said, it's not nice out today. The snow made the roads kind of slushy and slippery. The all-wheel drive bites in and gives you plenty of traction. And then on our 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster here, I can actually look and see how the all-wheel drive is being used. You can see if I put my foot down, it's mostly front-wheel drive, but if it starts slipping, that all-wheel drive system kicks in, and the H-Track, or which is their all-wheel drive system, is really pretty convenient. So it's kind of tailored to give you the best possible fuel economy and the best possible bite and traction when you need it. Now there also is drive modes, so I can go from sport to my drive down to a snow mode. So that I'd probably reserve for if it's pretty heavy snow, you can put it down in the snow mode. And then if you kick it into sport from the normal mode, you get a lot of kind of pick up and go. It seems like it kind of wakes that turbocharger up and does make it pretty fun to drive. Not to mention you also get paddle shifters on the steering wheel here. But other than that, it does have a remote start on this vehicle as well. So that's going to come standard on the key fob. Before I even got in the vehicle this morning, fired it up, got some of the snow melted off of it, and it also fires up your heated seats, which is pretty nice. Now it's a 3-level heated seat for the driver and the passenger. As you work up the trim level, you can also add that to the second row. And you can also do ventilated seats and a heated steering wheel. But I think the XRT with these heated seats, I actually had to turn it down from 3 to 2 because it was getting a little too toasty, which I can always appreciate. Now, a few other things on the steering wheel here. It's a really cool and kind of thicker steering wheel, but it fits your hands very nicely, and everything you need to access is right here on the wheel. So whether that's the adaptive cruise control or that lane departure warning system, there's a lot of safety built into these vehicles. You can also go into the menu and turn any of it off. So if you're not a big fan of some of the safety components, you can obviously shut those ones off. There's things like the adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring. There's even a safe exit feature. So if it notices a vehicle coming, you'll hear it beeping, and it can actually keep the kids from jumping out of the second row, which is a great safety feature. Now on the steering wheel, like I said, you've got your buttons for your volume control and some of those other safety settings, and you know, the shift by wire system is pretty cool. So the shifter is actually located behind the steering wheel now, and what that does is it gives you a lot of room down here. Whether it's the big area for the cup holders here or for the wireless charging on the one side, you also get a huge cabinet down below here. So whether you're putting a purse or a small backpack down there, it's always nice to have a little bit of added storage when you're on the move. Plus, even on the right side here, there's a little button you can press to have an upper storage cabinet, which can also be a UVC sanitization cabinet. That's a whole nother thing I want to get into, but a pretty cool feature where you can throw your wallet and keys into that, and it can actually sterilize them a bit there. Then you do just get a little bit of additional storage even below that. So that's one thing about this Santa Fe. Like I said, it doesn't feel like I'm pushing around maybe a Suburban or a Tahoe or any kind of large third row SUV, but I still get a lot of storage in here. I was very impressed with just how much room is in the back. I mean, even in the driver's seat, it's really comfortable. On a cold, windy, not nice day like today, to get into the vehicle and feel like it fits you like an old boot, it's just great. The seats are great. It's easy to drive. I love that I've got the all-wheel drive and the XRT to give me a little bit of added bite and traction in the snow. I think if you're shopping, whether it's Honda, Toyota, Nissan, any of those vehicles, I mean, even looking at the Chevy, GMC, there's a lot of third row SUVs, and this one enters a pretty competitive market right now. So one thing this offers is a ton of standard safety features, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, heated seats, I mean, all this stuff, and this one's gonna be priced in at about $43,600. So with the average new car price at a little over $48,000, you're getting a ton of equipment for the money here, and you're also getting a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty from Hyundai. So they're putting the confidence into this vehicle as well. You should be too, because I think this is a pretty awesome daily driver. Whether it's just you got the kids in here, there's a ton of great safety features and a very luxury feeling vehicle to me in here. So I think if you're in the market, you got to get out, take one of these Santa Fe's for a spin, and see what you think. Now, that was just a quick look and drive at the 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe. Now, if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by anytime. We'd be more than happy to help. Thanks again for watching.